First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash, and the Bon Cells Great Millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that are scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great, powerful lesson to the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And the title of today's lesson is Common Chaos. So I like to say, Shalom, Chola, listen, learn. Hope this help you today and guides you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today, let's now have a few news article I'm gonna bring out, but this would be the first one. It said Daily Hard, and it reads that World Economic Forum says 98 of central banks are preparing to launch CBDCs as finance enter next phase. Let's get a little bit more. It says here, it said more than 98% of the world's central banks are researching, experimenting, piloting, or deploying central bank digital currency, CBDCs, according to the World Economic Forum, or the WEF. So we're seeing that we're very close to this transitional period, this cashless society, this digital society, whereby it's going to be working with these digital IDs, this biometric. And also we know that all roads will lead to that grain of rice. So we know we still having a lot of bank closing. Also we seeing that we're coming upon a great economic collapse. We're seeing that we almost at the end of this dollar. We're seeing that these BRIC nations are constantly rising up. All these other nations are constantly ditching the dollar, starting their own currency, backed by gold. So now they get ready to introduce this new digital currency. So all these banks, across America is going to start this up. So they're doing what you call like test runs right now, but it's gonna come a period of time where the fiat currency, this petrol, this paper money is going to be obsolete. So we coming upon this time. They shall cast their silver and the gold in the street. So we coming upon this time. We coming upon some perilous time. Also, we coming upon some dangerous time. We knowing about this anti-Semitism bill that they brought out. So we know this is going to be dealing with your freedom of speech. We're seeing that they're having a lot of uproars and a lot of civil unrest with these colleges. So we already knowing that all this thing is all by design and manufactured from the left hand side, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're not ignorant of Satan's device, even though that we're sound like a broken record. But these are the times that we're living in. We are so very close. We're seeing that 2024 is popping off just like popcorn. These prophets are speaking left and right, just like Apostle Paul Tahar. He said he deemed this year the hopeful year of Jacob trouble. So it's looking like it's lining up just like clockwork. We're seeing that these right now these prophecies constantly rolling. Something is happening left and right. So we're seeing right here they're getting ready to bring out the next phase. So this gonna be dealing with in order to be a part of this new system that they're getting ready to put into play. This new 5G Swift system that they're getting ready to put into play. You're going to have to take it under the skin. You understand what I'm saying? So now let's go to the next article here. Let's go here. It says here, House passes GOP anti-Semitism bill amid college unrest. So we're seeing that, they don't want you to speak out against these, people, so we got to be careful what we said, the ish people, a lot of things that they're getting ready to start bringing forth. We know that persecution of the saints is coming. Great tribulation is right to befall us. So we see it right here. It says here, the House passes anti-Semitism Awareness Act on Wednesday amid unrest on college campus. So we're seeing what they're doing. They're rioting. They're constantly protesting about this war over here in Israel, Hamas. So hey man, all these things are constantly picking up. We're seeing what uproars of the people. We're seeing what civil unrest. We're seeing it's going to be sedition among men. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Let's see, can we get a little bit of this video? Let's get a little bit of it.
What are they hoping to accomplish, and how is it going to work? Well, that's a lot of credit you give me, Terry, but I do know this question. So, inside that definition from the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance is a more pointed definition of anti-Semitism than right now exists in the Civil Rights Act, is the argument that the sponsors of this legislation give. So they want to add more specific language as to what the definition is. So, as these bill sponsors allege, if it's violated on a college campus, that means that the school is not doing its utmost to abide by the Civil Rights Act and crack down on any kind of violation. And so it has a number of different elements, but perhaps the most controversial part of this definition is it says, I'll quote them directly from their website, manifestations of anti-Semitism might include the targeting of the state of Israel conceived as a Jewish collectivity. But it goes on to say that criticism of Israel, like any other country, is not anti-Semitic. It's that element of this, among others, that have led some critics to say that this language could create a chilling effect and actually crack down on constitutionally protected free speech. But I can tell you that while there is that criticism, particularly from Democrats, there are a lot of bipartisan
with more edification. But we seeing right here that we're very close to famine of the word, and it's very close to this time. So we seeing right now, the men of the Lord are constantly warning you left and right. It's right here. A lot of people saying that all their conspiracy theory, they're teaching hate speech. It's right in front of your face. We seeing that these things are happening, very quickly. We seeing that, it's not delaying anymore. It is speaking loud and clear. So we seeing right now that this bill what they're putting in place, it's going, it's going to be, whereby, it's going to be dealing with your freedom of speech, and also, got to watch certain things that you'll say, or you can be arrested for just teaching out of the Bible or gatherings. A lot of these things that they're constantly putting into play, order out of chaos. So now let's go to our next one. I got another video to bring it out to a little bit more edification. Just want to give you a little of that. Let's go here to this one. It's another one I got right quick about these tags, about these the EIDs tags, or the RFID tag. It says here, it's on January the 1st, 2023, said this, the RFID tags will become the only identification device approved as an official ear tag for cattle and bison persons. So what this is saying is that, there are a lot of, before you can take your cattle to just a few examples, take your cattle to the sale barn, they want to know, they want to have everything tagged so they can track everything, your cattle, how many you got here, how many you have there, and when you get ready to transport them to these slaughterhouse, different things. So they want to track everything. So they want to control the money and also the food. So you will own nothing and be happy. So we seeing what these things are leading to. Let's see what else we got here. So I don't mean to be jumping all around, but hey, man, this is where we at. We seeing how this is lining up. You see right here, it said the U.S. government to track and monitor cattle. So wow, you seeing that? And it says right here, this one said mandatory as EID tags for I think it was Kansas City KY cattle. Man, we seeing, man, these things are here. Let's open this one up right quick. Let's see what it says. Let's see what we got here. We ain't go into too much. I ain't gonna do too much reading because I'm just opening it up just to show you. It said U.S. government to track and monitor cattle through new technology. So we seeing that we're coming upon this time. We already know that this RFID chip is already been used in what you call so-called pets, like dogs, cats, telling you that they can track them if they become law. We can find them through this. We seeing how they gradually bringing in that grain of rice. So right here, they set it off. Now they get ready to try to control your food. Once you control the food, you control the people. Once you control the money, you control the people. Total control. So now let's go here now and get a quick precept before we start today's video. Let's go here. Right here, the blue letter, Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hands. So we're seeing it right now. So they have the power right now. We know that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, but only for a short time, for a short season. So right now we know that he's getting ready to what? To try to fill his belly, his enterprise, his plan. We already know what that is. Total control. Already know he's moving in that direction very quickly. So let's read it in the NLT. It said, what sorrows await you who lies awake at night, thinking up evil plans. Say, you rise at dawn and hurry to carry them out, simply because you have the power to do so, for only for a short season. So one thing about it, that the Lord is getting ready to cut him out. We know that he's getting ready to come and try to lock down all sorts of things. So we already see about this Semitism bill, so we already know what this is leading to. Famine of the word, what I'm saying? A lot of freedom of speech, censorship, a lot of things to get ready to come into play. A lot of mental Lord channels to get ready to be taken down, so we know that the Lord is getting ready to bring forth the famine of the word. So we constantly warning you left and right. The opportunity now is to seek the Lord. Right now, we're seeing that this devil is getting ready to roll it out right before our eye. Total control. We already know we almost upon that grain of rice. So we already know once this happened, all hell will break loose. So now we start today's videos, and after the video, we'll start the lesson, and I hope that you will get edified.
Breaking news. The World Economic Forum has acknowledged what many have been anticipating, a significant transformation of the US dollar. They've confirmed that 98% of central banks are gearing up to introduce central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, essentially shifting control away from individual governments and towards larger financial institutions.
Well, the World Economic Forum has finally admitted what we've been saying here on the show. The US dollar is about to change forever. That's right. We knew that CBDCs were rolling out central bank digital currencies, but this week we heard directly from Klaus Schwab's World Economic Forum that in fact 98% of central banks are preparing to launch CBDCs. Again, this right from the mouth of the World Economic Forum. After all, this is their plan. They've wanted to take away control of the monetary system, get it out of the hands of individual sovereign governments, individuals, and put it in the hands of Wall Street and larger banks. Now, when you have to understand the central bank structure in the United States, it's controlled by Wall Street. This is the goal, is to allow those big multinationals to control the money supply, get it out of the hands of the U.S. Treasury. Take that power away from Janet Yellen in the U.S. Treasury. Take it away from individual governments. Put it in the hands of a few massively large banks. And this all comes on the same week that we also saw more bank collapses in the United States, more seizures of banks, and massive amounts of U.S. deposits drying up in banks. See how this happens? All of these smaller banks get gobbled up by the big guys. So the J.P. Morgans, you have the Wells Fargos, Bank of America, you have Deutsche Bank, and these few massive large banks control the entire process. So let's go through what the World Economic Forum is saying here, which is startling, but we knew this was coming. So get ready, guys, to have no cash anymore. Get ready to have a digital ID, a digital wallet that will control everything. Now, I know some of you might be saying, that's fake news. Well, frankly, you don't know what you're talking about. I've been studying and tracking this for a very long time. I point you to my deep dive interviews here with Whitney Webb, who's one of the foremost authorities on tracking all of the structure of these CBDCs. And it's startling. The control is coming, guys. I mean, think about their ability to track everything you're doing through a digital ID on your phone. Okay? They'll be able to watch your carbon footprint. Oh, you've traveled too much this month. So no, you are not allowed to buy gasoline anymore for this month until the calendar resets for the month, because you've driven to see grandma too many times, or you've been on the road too much, or you've flown too much, or you've bought too much meat, right? This is the ridiculousness that we're currently facing right now. But they'll be able to track every transaction. And of course, they want everything then tied to the blockchain. This is the tokenization of every asset, farmland, everything in the United States. So they will be controlling everything and watching everything. It is coming. This is the dream. Now, they've already rolled this out in Ukraine. You remember, Ukraine is really a testing ground for a lot of this. They rolled this out using what's known as the Dia app. Okay, Dia was
I don't think we'll ever get to the 2024 election. I think things are going to implode in Washington before then. I think our economic financial condition is fragile. It's going to come home to roost in ugly ways. I will tell you, I don't know exactly how it will happen. I think we're going to end up in a situation where we find out the banks are closed for 2 or 3 weeks and nobody can get into them.
You think so?
I think we're going to run into something like that, yeah. I also think that the levels of violence and criminality in our cities is so high that it's going to spill over into other places in society. People that normally think they can live remote from the problem are now beginning to be touched by the problem. Then I look at this thing in Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to lose catastrophically. It's going to be a complete collapse. And that, too, is going to have an effect here at home because people are going to say, well, wait a minute. Everybody told us Ukraine was winning. Everybody told us X, Y, and Z. I mean, sort of the Russian hoax on steroids. All of those things are going to come together or converge in some way that's going to prevent us from reaching, the status quo. Oh, another election. Oh, another set of campaigns and so forth.
Breaking news. House passes GOP anti-Semitism bill amid college unrest. The bill, introduced by a bipartisan group of lawmakers, passed 320 to 91. The measure is led by Representative Mike Lawler, Republican New York, and has 15 Democratic co-sponsors. Many Republicans and Democrats voted against the bill, saying it violates free speech. It requires the Department of Education to use the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance's operational definition of anti-Semitism when enforcing federal anti-discrimination laws. The working definition says that anti-Semitism is, in part, a certain perception of Jews, which can be expressed as hatred toward Jews. This definition includes denying the Jewish people the right to self-determination by declaring that the State of Israel is an apartheid state and comparing contemporary Israeli policies to those of Nazi Germany. Some Democrats have taken issue with the coalition's definition of anti-Semitism and some of the contemporary examples of anti-Semitism listed by the group. Democratic Representative Jerry Nadler, who is Jewish, said he had problems with the bill because it would put a thumb on the scale in favor of a definition of anti-Semitism and could be chilling. Freedom of speech is protected by the Constitution. Nadler voted against the bill. The bill's approval came a day after.
Hello, friends. Watched the feeder flash this morning. Now, I warned a bunch of my friends when this bird flu bullshit come out, and it is bullshit, that the EIDs were coming.
The USDA come down on Friday is they have said that within 6 months, all sexually intact cattle, all cattle, all beef cattle, every kind of cattle, are going to have to be mandatory ID'd, EID tagged. It has to be a visible tag and electronically visible tag. And it's going to be on all cattle, basically all breeding cattle. So our calves and yearlings are okay.
Now, the only way that the USDA could implement this in 6 months is if they've already had a stockpile of tags. They knew what they were doing. They've accomplished what they were doing. This is bullshit. And
the left wants to ban cattle, and before you can ban anything, you need a registry. You need to know where it's at and who owns it, and that's why they want to tag cattle. We've seen it happen in Europe. Now, on the right, you've got some cronies who stand to make some money from these ear tags. They're the ones who get the $15 million earmark. It doesn't go to USDA. It's going to, quote, stakeholders. That is a code word for private entities are getting a handout, and what they'll do, they'll verticalize the industry with this. The big corporations, you just talked about China. There are 4 corporations control meat processing in the United States. One's owned by China, one's owned by Brazil. American ranchers will be working for those organizations if this tracking goes through because they'll verticalize the industry.
Chad, what's your response to this tracking of cattle? Are you concerned as well?
Oh, yes, I am. It is the key that opens the door to the end of independent producers across the country, and it is a private property rights issue that we really have to consider here. When we start talking about RFID, EID, and data monitoring of farmers and ranchers and their cattle herd size, we open up the door to what is going on in the European Union. And under the rules of sustainable development, we know that the RFID has led to land seizure in the name of climate change. So once we open that door, there's no going back, and they can come and they can monitor, measure, report, and verify everything that's going on your farm or ranch. And then maybe down the road, in the name of climate change, they can come and dictate to you the rules of their production, which is subjective from a third-party verification, and it is extremely dangerous to private property rights. This is a liberty taker, not a liberty maker.
So we see that we're very close. We're very close to these times, man. Men of the Lord constantly sighing and crying, and they constantly rolling it out right before your eyes. So we'll start today's lesson. We start here in 2 Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. He said, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the sign pass, which I have told thee before. So that's what we're doing. We're measuring the time diligently. We're seeing all of the signs of the time. We're seeing that these prophecies are lining up left and right. We're constantly warning you about war. We're warning you about the evil time, Jacob trouble, the hour of temptation. Man, we're very close to these times. All hell is getting ready to break loose. Also, we warning you about great tribulation, also persecution and death and destruction. We're measuring the time diligently through the what? Through the word, through the gospel. So we're here. It's at the door. So verse 2, Salaki, he said, then shall thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So that's what we're seeing right now. The Lord is what is visiting the world that he made. We're seeing all these different floodings, these tornadoes, thunderstorm, hail, earthquakes in diverse places. A lot of things are constantly happening all around the world simultaneously. The eyes of the Lord, which in fact are the angels. UFO sites are all everywhere, in every place right now. We're seeing that, things are picking up. We're seeing that things are getting ready to increase. The Lord is visiting the earth that he created. The Lord is getting ready to bring forth massive judgment. Verse 3, it said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So that's what we're seeing right now, uproars of the people. We're seeing that all these major college campuses around America, we're seeing that a lot of people are protesting about Israel, about what anti-Semitism bill. It's kind of like a tongue twister, Salaki. But one thing about it, we're seeing that these things are coming to pass. Famine of the word is fast approach. Great persecution. We knowing that we're here, the beginning of sorrow. Also, World War III is constantly brewing. So the signs of the times is every place right now. Either you will hear, or either you will forbear. So let's read this once again. It said, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, civil unrest, sedition, it's going to be a kill or be killed very soon. These unrighteous decree, Tartarian law, they want total control, lockdowns, mandates, they get ready to put them into place. Verse 4 said, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5 said, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and the end is manifest. So that's what we're seeing right now. The end is constantly manifest. We're seeing that this earth age, this eon is passing away. We're seeing that the Lord, we're in that what you call that transition of power, the struggle in Rebecca's womb. We're seeing that the Lord is constantly setting that righteous order back into place. And also we knowing that the kingdom of heaven is fast approaching. So we're here. So now let's go here to let's go here to Ezekiel. Let's go here to 2 Ezra chapter 15, because this is getting ready to pop off right here. 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. Let's go here. It says 2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 15. It said, for the sword in their destruction draws nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with sword in their hands. So we seeing that's all this civil unrest all around the world, uproars of the people. A lot of people right now having a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people are divided right now. Nation is divided, cannot stand. So we already knowing that the modern day gun, the modern day sword is the gun. So a lot of these things are getting ready to come into play. Hey, we almost at the boiling point. Verse 16 said, For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a lot of civil unrest. We're seeing that they're not going to regard the government. They're not going to regard the law enforcement. They're not going to regard each other. So we coming upon these times, fast approaching, coming chaos, disorder, confusion, all sorts of death and destruction right before us. verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able because of what? The mandates, the lockdown, the checkpoints. A lot of these things are coming into play. These executive orders, just this bill they just passed. You know, a lot of things are coming upon us, fast approach. They want what? Total control, track and tag everyone on the planet, keep up with your every whereabouts. You already knowing that it's going to lead into these FEMA accounts, these chipping facilities, also that digital download, the hokey pokey. A lot of these things are coming into play. Verse 18 said, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So a lot of people going to be bugged out of their mind. You know, they're going to be like madmen. You know, a lot of people, it's just going to be totally destroyed. You know, they're going to give up the ghost. You know, faith and work hand in hand. If you don't have faith, you are going to be totally destroyed. And one thing about it, you know, the Lord is getting ready to destroy this place. In 1 hour, Babylon the Great, America. Verse 19 said, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. So we're coming upon that, you know, famine of the world, also food shortage, rolling blackout, you know, no internet, no communication. A lot of things are coming, you know what I'm saying? Even starvation is coming in a big way. A lot of things are coming down the pipeline. And also we know that this place is going to be invaded, you know, by Russia and China troops in collaboration with the EU and also these sleeper cells that they already have in place. So, hey, man, any given time, you know, things can just break out. You know, a lot of people are still relaxing, are not considering. These things are constantly picking up left and right. They're rolling it out right before your eyes. All this gainsaying, all this disbelief is getting ready to be a thing of the past. Let's go here. Let's go to Ezekiel chapter 17. We'll get one more. We'll close out. Ezekiel chapter 7, Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 19. Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 19. And it reads here, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord. They shall not satisfy their soul, neither fill their bowels, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. So that's getting ready to happen. We're seeing what the WEF, they get ready to roll this new digital money out right before our eyes. So these banks are preparing. They're already doing test run. You know, they're experimenting right now. You know, you already know what's happening in China, what's happening in certain parts of Europe, and also what's getting ready to go down in Canada. So we already know this getting ready to come to America. You know, all these things gonna be working with your biometrics. You know, it's getting ready to be a cashless society, so your money is getting ready to be obsolete. A lot of people right now might have millions, might have hundreds of thousands in the bank, but it's gonna be it's gonna have to be transferred over to digital tokens, tokenized. You know, so if you understand what I'm saying, so they get ready to do away with these apps like Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, and also Google Pay, and Apple Pay. All these, they're getting ready to be done away with. This Fad Now app is getting ready to take over. This government is getting ready to track and tag all this money, and also this money is getting ready to have a expiration date on. They're gonna have total control. They can turn it on, they can turn it off. So one thing about it, he's imagined a vain thing. So these things are coming upon us at a fast pace. We already knowing that, you know, the money is getting ready to be worthless. So we are coming upon some very perilous time. Jacob's trouble is fast approaching. The hour of temptation is getting ready to be a global event that we have never seen before. So now let's go here to our last and final script. Let's go here to the Ezekiel chapter 33. We'll close out here. Ezekiel chapter 33. It's a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh. And once again, I hope that you will get edified. Let's see. Let's go here. We'll close out here. It says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So what shall come to pass? These prophecies. So we seeing that they constantly manifest. They're more obvious and clear that we're living in end time, real time. We're seeing it happening right before our eye. In the middle, Lord, we're constantly sighing and crying, warning you all these impending dangers, and they right at the door. They're on every side. They're not going to slack down for a moment. We're coming upon this time. All hell is getting ready to break loose. You know, coming chaos. You know, all sorts of death and destruction is coming upon us. The Lord is getting ready to execute judgment, and we cannot wait. So let's read this once again. It says here, Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33 said, when this cometh to pass, these prophecies, the signs of the time, it said, and lo, it will come. So the Lord's word will not return to him void. He said, then shall they know that a prophet had been among them. So one thing about it, we're seeing these things are lining up. It's right before our eyes. A lot of people saying this, things are looking very dim. Things are looking what uncertainties. A lot of people have getting ready to have great sorrow, great vexation spirit. Great desperation. So a lot of things are getting ready to happen. What are you gonna do when you haven't eaten in several days? What are you going to do when you don't have a place to stay? What are you going to do when you don't have your medication? Are you going? You got to trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, because we are very close to these times. And also our salvation is at the door. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Coming Chaos. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.